Today I unbox the Volos and Mordenkaisen's Foes, pre-painted plastic figures from WizKids. This is the newest official D&D release. And no, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce Mordenkainen. Mordenkainen, who knows? Mordenkainen sounds better to me for some reason. In any case, I got a lucky draw for the first one. A particularly lovely looking bone claw, a dynamic pose, a very nice large miniature. I got some lovely Darrow miniatures too. I like these Darrows, the faces with the weird white eyes. They look good from a distance, and they're nice sculpts, and they don't break when you accidentally drop them. I have no idea what this guy is. I have all my D&D knowledge, I do not know. Obviously, some sort of, perhaps goblinkin, I don't know. I do know what this one is, though. The old Bodak, and this is actually a very creepy, very nice sculpt. I like this guy a lot. There's some very off-the-wall miniatures, which you would expect. Some Barghest. I'm not sure if you know that's how you pronounce that. This horrific faceless guy here. Another miniature. And these guys, too. I like using these guys as generic spider mutant guys. I have seen a miniature like that in the future. And a Cave Fisher, a classic D&D monster, and the weight paint job actually is pretty kind of cool. It's a nice miniature. Oh, and a toxic troll, a venom troll. Very disgusting and bloated. This guy here is a very specialized, it's a Korid, I believe it's pronounced. But the paint job on that did not do the sculpt justice. This Spring Eladrin, though, however, has a very nice sculpt. Not the best paint job, but frankly, this does the trick. I really like this one because they had something interesting with the bird. Another Gith Zarai. This is the lawful, I believe, evil neutral guys, or neutral guys, I'm not sure. A Steel Predator, an alien-looking quadruped. An interesting miniature. We have some turtles in this pack, and this guy with the magical effect coming out of his hand is pretty cool. We have a little Meanlock or Mearlock. It's got some mold lines on the top. Not the greatest, but they all can't be winners, I guess. Oh, the old choker was so much more interesting than this. I guess it's supposed to be a small creature, and thus they put it on the small thing. But the one that came in the Hasbro sets was much nicer than this one. We do have a nice-looking ogre here. An ogre battering ram. Certainly an interesting, different ogre to have. And I like the facial expression. It's a solid sculpt there. The large miniatures have been pretty good. Another underwhelming choker miniature. And a turtle. I'm not sure if this is how they intended it to go off, because he's got this little hole in his hand. Another Darrow miniature with a crossbow. Very nice. A Gnoll miniature, a larger Gnoll. The armor is... I mean, obviously they are armored and armed, but perhaps a little bit messier armor would have looked nicer. We have another fiery Eladrin, the Autumn Eladrin. I'll talk more about those at the end. Oh, and we have a lovely sculpt of a big old bloated Banderhob. A lot of personality in that miniature. I really like that sculpt. And we have an Iron Cobra. It does have a little treasure chest, so this is different than the previous Iron Cobras that we have seen. So it's kind of interesting. But, I mean, it's maybe a little bit larger to show off some of the detail would have been nice. I've never seen this monster before. This is one of the ones in the books that I've not... the paint job leaves a little bit to be desired, but perhaps you could touch it up if you like. The sculpt itself is pretty interesting. And we have the final Eladrin here that I got. A Summer Eladrin with the fiery sword. And overall, I was pretty satisfied with this set. I mean, I think this set is much, much better than the recent Pathfinder set. But I will say, even though there are some really good standout miniatures here, especially the Death Kiss Beholder and whatnot, this set isn't really as good as the 2013 set. So whatever production schedule or whatever issues that they're having arise where they can't really get the best thing, I mean, they're going to have to solve those issues. The summer and season Eladrins, I think the spring one was really the only one that I liked a lot. The rest of them, you could just paint up unpainted elf miniatures and get a much better deal. The Gnolls are all right. I think there's been superior sculpts of most of the quadruped miniatures that we got. The Steel Predator in particular could have looked more impressive. I did like a lot of the medium miniatures, a Wood Woad and the Bodak classic miniatures. They look really nice. And of course, the first miniature that I opened, the Bone Claw, a very impressive looking miniature. I like that one a lot. The poor old Kored miniature here, it's not a great sculpt, and the paint job did not do it any favors. But overall, the large miniatures, there's some really good ones in this set. I don't know exactly. I think the issue that they're running into is frankly that they're basing their miniatures on the artwork rather than what would look good as a miniature. And this is an issue I think that they've been having for a long time. Yes, you want it to be familiar to the artwork, but you can't go directly from a 2D artwork and then design off that. You have to kind of have a sculptor who knows what's going to look good in 3D design the miniatures. So some of the miniatures, like the Banderhob and larger miniatures like that, are going to look amazing as 3D miniatures compared to their 2D artwork. But other ones just are not going to translate very well at all. And I think that's the issue that we've been having. But let me know in the comments below what you think of this set and the pulls that I got. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, the sponsorship that I set up has ended. I think there was some miscommunication about all that. For full transparency, I will be sharing the phone call that happened. New phone, who this?
Hi, yeah, this is, I'm the legal representative of... Unfortunately, it seems you have grossly misrepresented the content on your YouTube channel, and the sponsorship agreement you reached with my client is now null and void.
Really? This seems rather sudden.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You straight up lied about being a disc golf YouTube channel. You're going to have to give that money back.
I mean, that's going to be tough. Dead ass, the only reason I got the new phone is because of that money, so...
I'm serious. You're gonna have to give all of that money back.
I'm sorry, the phone's breaking up. So obviously, nobody could have seen that coming. So unfortunately, that does mean that this channel is unsponsored again, and I will be trying to figure this out as we move forward.